The COLAs also were discussed. As you know, there's different COLAs across the different systems today. 3% compounded are some of the things. In the original proposal here, it's the same as it is in 1946 for the others, which is basically the COLA would go up on both the survivor annuity and the members annuity of 3% or half the CPI urban. So once they decide that their time for retirement to make that decision to go forward, they would then start getting the COLA the next full year after that. So there is a COLA. It is reduced from the from the current thing of the 3%, especially with the one with the 3% compounding. But that is one of the big savers for the money in the thing. The survivor annuity, and this has been up for discussion because some of you know that the survivor annuities go anywhere from 50% up to 100% in some of the different systems. And as we did in the other systems in 1946, I believe that the rationale was there to make that a uniform survivor annuity of 67%, or 66 and two-thirds of the original annuity, and that would actually be an increase for the Chicago Police and Fire, who are currently at 50%, and a reduction for the new members in the Articles 3 and 4 of the Downstate Police and Fire, which are currently at 100% or 100% with a COLA. So, as far as compliance, many of the members of labor, and I think brought forward a very strong argument, and we are looking at the compliance that would basically take effect. There would be no money that would actually be taken out of their distributed funds for a period of 5 years, which was discussed during the Senator Link hearings. And that was basically 2 years for COG for this to do the study of every system and where they stand and what and evaluate what their plans are as far as improving their funded liability. And then the Department of Insurance would work on a number that we're looking at when they fall below 30%, that then there would be a reduction from their distributed funds from the state. We're talking about the first year that they fall below that 30%, it would be 1/3 of that money could be taken in order to go straight to the pension funds. The second year after that, they could go up to 2/3 of that money, and at the third year, the full amount that was supposed to be. You get that amount by saying, if they're supposed to put $1 million into those accounts that year and they put in $900,000, well then of course the $100,000 is the amount that could be taken out of their distributed funds. We think that would be reasonable going out that far, and the Department of Insurance would make the rules for the compliance and also judge the validity of their plan to say it does make sense that the numbers they're giving us would lead to an 80 or 90% funded liability over the course of time. So, and also during that study, the COGFA thing, we'll look at the rate of return that is being used by these different systems, because everyone knows the higher the rate of return, the lower the contribution has to be in there. But we do want to look at it to see, are they using a reasonable rate of return? We think that should be studied, and that will be in the COGFA report. We're also looking at the mortality tables, because we do have some of these units of government across the state that use mortality tables that are as much as 40 years old. And we know that that also affects the number of the contribution. So I think I would stop at this point and ask the chair to please, with the wisdom of Solomon, determine who you'd like to have testify first, and or if the committee has any questions, maybe that would be the best to go to that first, and then ask the different groups who I'm sure have signed in to testify if they'd like to offer comments on the proposal that I presented so far.
Certainly. And Madam Clerk, please add Representatives Brady and May to the roll call. Are there